hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can. I didn't think to test out the audio ahead of time, so that was my fault. But we'll make this work. So as you're coming in, a like is going to go a long way, and also just let me know if the audio is working okay. We're going to cover a very quick strategy, a very simple strategy that is going to get you buyer leads. A simple strategy that is going to help you with getting buyer leads. Now, there's two components to this. It can be a free strategy or it can be a paid strategy. I'm going to cover both of those. Now, we're going to really focus on the paid side, but I'll show you how to amplify it to help a little bit more. So as you're coming in, a like is going to go a long way, but also let me know if this audio is okay. If not, I'm kind of limited, so hopefully it is okay. Adjust my camera here. So sorry, I'm in a different setting today. I'm on location, which is fine. So today we're covering a strategy to generate some buyer leads quickly. All right, so I call this the renter strategy. The reason it's called the renter strategy is because who are the individuals that are going to be more likely to move? Well, it's people that are renting, people that are looking to buy. It's going to be the renters that are through. Yeah, all good. Awesome. Thank you so much. The people that are through renting or people that want to be done with renting and own a property themselves. So it's going to be somebody that is highly motivated to purchase a home. Now, I understand that homeowners, as they're looking to move up or move down in terms of the next property that they buy, that also is important. And there's a strong motivation there. But the people that are renting, those generally are the ones that are feeling the pain point. They're the ones that are feeling the pain point of a landlord. They're the ones that are feeling the pain point of a property management company. They're the ones that are feeling the pain point of shelling out 1,500, 1,800, 2,500, 3,200, whatever they happen to pay in rent. They know that that's not coming back to them in any form, in any equity way or any shape, way, and form. So that's a huge motivator. So when I call it the renters strategy, that's what I'm alluding to. So we're going to target renters in a good way. We're going to target renters that are going to be most likely to move. Now, one of the questions that comes up is, well, how do you find renters? Do I go to apartment complexes and just put my business card out there, give some welcome baskets, go to the property manager and give them, whether that's hand sanitizer, super common right now, keychains, my business card. Do I go and give that to the property manager at the desk and have them include my information in the welcome packet? Well, that's one component. That's something that you can do, but I'm not suggesting going to apartment complexes because from my experience that just hasn't yielded the return that I expected or with any of the agents that have deployed that within my real estate team. So I'm not suggesting that, although that does have its place if you're looking for operating that or initiating that, you can do it. Just know that it's really not it's not that effective, and it does cost a good amount of money in order to operate it at scale. So that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is people that are actually renting houses right now, people that are leasing. So I use renting and leasing interchangeably. So we're talking about people that are actually in a home that are leasing right now, that are renting that home out. And the reason that we're targeting those individuals is because they know what home maintenance looks like. Because when you're renting a property, when you're leasing a property, you have to do the maintenance. They know what paying for utilities is. So there you don't you have to contract directly with the cable provider, with the internet provider, with the utility services, everything. So they, for all intents and purposes, they know how to be a homeowner, and they have that, that it's not a luxury, but they have that understanding of what a homeowner goes through, the pains and the tribulations. So the big difference is when it comes to some major repair, they're not responsible for that. When it comes to, hey, the water heater went out, well, they know that they're not financially on the hook for that unless they were the ones that caused it and there's some negligence there. But also from the mortgage side, that's something that they're not responsible on their end either. So those are two big distinctions: the actual repairs, that's something that they're not responsible for, and then the mortgage. So What they are responsible for is the rent or how much they're charging per month. The landlord happens to charge per month. So what we do in this particular situation to get some buyer leads is directly target those individuals that are doing that. And again, the question still remains, Jaime, how do I target those people? How do I target those people that are leasing? How do I target those people that are renting? That's a very fair question. And all you have to do is go to your MLS right now. So go to your MLS, regardless of which one it happens to be. And instead of going to the properties for sale or residential tab, everyone's labeled different. Some are properties for sale, some are residential. Um, they're labeled differently. You're going to go to the leasing part. So a lot of you have never gone there because you're focused on buying and selling, and that's fine. But there is a tab in your MLS right now that you can filter out based off of the properties that are actually being leased, that are actually being rented out. And you're going to go to that filter, you're going to go to that portal and look at those types of properties. Now, that's step one, going to the correct place, because I do get messages from some of my agents saying, "Hey, I can't find this." Well, it's because you're in the wrong portal. You're in the wrong place. You first need to go to the the portal, the filter that is only speaking to residential leases. So once you're there, what you're looking for is a geography, the area that you're working in. Now, if you haven't selected where you're working, you get to choose that. If you don't know what market you're going to attack, that's fine. What I suggest is to, in that scenario, if you're open to working across the city, if you're open to working in several places at once, then filter based off of the amount that's being charged for per month. So the amount that the rent is for. So if you're in a price point where if somebody's paying $1,600, and that's relatively a good size home that you'd love to either sell or help somebody buy a home like that, then that's where you're gonna go. So I have several properties right now. They vary in rent. One is, I believe I have that one at 1,000. I have another one at 1250. And they're in good areas. It just so happens that property prices have appreciated drastically. There's another one for 1875, so that one is a brand new build. And there's one that I'm doing 1225. So those are the ones that come off the top of my head. So they range in prices. So those are properties that I personally own. So that's something that you can take into consideration. Hey, how much are rents going for here? Because that's going to give you a good idea of, is the property owner eventually gonna sell? Well, I can contact that property owner. But what we're talking about is buyer leads. So reaching out to those individuals that are paying $1,800 per month. Well, they can afford a relatively good size home, depending on the market that you're in, depending in the area that you're working. So filtering based off of how much people are paying per month, that's what we're talking about there. If you're open to working in different areas, if you already have your farm, don't move away from your farm. Just double down on that. But just giving everybody a little formula to go off of if they're looking for a different area or are open to work in different parts of the city. Once you have that, well, your next filter is going to be based off of when was the last time that the property was rented. So again, we all know what the MLS looks like, and we have a good understanding how to navigate it. So once you've gone to the residential leases section, once you've gone to the area that you want to work, so the neighborhood that you want to work, now you get to the part where you select what all properties have been leased. So you're not looking for active listings, you're looking for what has already been leased. You're looking for anything 6 months and older. So you're looking at here, it's April. So we're looking about, if I was going to do this right now, I would go from October on back. So 7 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, 10 months ago, all the way back to 3 years. Now you may be thinking, well, Jaime, why are you doing 3 years? The reason I'm going to 3 years is because when somebody leases a property, you're not always going to have that person leave within a year. So that property is not going to come up for rent every single year. Now, thankfully, I've had some really long-term tenants, so they really maybe one has moved out. Yeah, maybe one out of the properties as I've had them. There's they've just been super cool. So from the turnover rate, that's what you're factoring in 3 years back. So the reason that you're going 6 months all the way back to 3 years is because you're wanting to see those individuals that have leased a particular property within that time frame. And what you're doing there at that point is you're looking at people that are actively renting. It gives you a good size pool to, you know, at this point is when you get into the active stage. Once you've selected the people that are actually renting, because again, if it was leads, that means that there's a renter in there. That means that there's a leasee in there. So now you can target them and start the conversation of home ownership. So notice the progression. We've talked about identifying the people that are leasing. We talked about the neighborhood that we want to be in. We talked about the amount that we want to work in. And now we're talking about actually targeting those people that are actually renters in that point in time. Now, I kind of alluded to earlier, you can target the homeowners and see if they're open to having the selling conversation now more than ever, and if they want to cash out on their investment, or you can target the renters from the buying perspective. Now, this is the core of the video where we're talking about buyers. So that's what we're going to focus on. When you're reaching out to those buyers, the next question becomes, well, how do I reach them? Now that you know who they are, now that you know that out of the entire neighborhood, you know that 10 homes are being leased out right now. How do you reach them? Well, I know it's a little bit tough in certain markets right now because of the situation that we're in, but you can door knock. That's always an option. You can absolute door knock. You can send them direct mailers, so direct mailers with the message that is more catered towards them because you understand that they are leasing. So giving really leaning in on the pain point that the fact that they're paying for something that they're not going to own at the end of year one, year two, year three, year four, year five, however long they're leasing. So really speaking into that. And then also speaking into the fact that a lot of reasons, a big reason actually, not a lot, a big reason that the renters are renting is because their credit. So giving people options on fixing their credit, that's huge. So having that understanding is going to really help out. Now that's you reaching out to them directly. If you want to put a little bit of budget into this particular strategy, the best investment that you can make is on a data provider that gives you their name, their email, and their phone number because you have their address. So these are the data providers like Mojo, Vulcan7, RedX. These data providers will give you their contact information so you can reach out to them. So this could be a quarterly type of an exercise for you because not every single day you're going to have somebody pop up on that radar. Because remember how we kind of got here. We went 6 months and back. So it's not like expired. It's not every single day you're going to have something new. This is something that you can do every quarter, but if you do this consistently enough, you're going to be speaking to the same people consistently enough to where at some point they may be interested in using you in their home purchase. So using that as an investment, using the data provider as an investment to reach out to them en masse is a great strategy. Now that really is how you use the budget side of things that I mentioned. We were talking about free strategies for buyer leads and then paid strategies. More of the paid strategies involve the direct mailers and purchasing data to reach these ultimate consumers that at some point will want to purchase a home. Actually, a lot of them already want to purchase their home, but they just have not had either they're misinformed or maybe their credit has been off, maybe the down payment just hasn't been there, maybe they just haven't been presented with the options. So this is a quick way for you to identify those people that are most likely to buy because those people are renting right now and they understand that the $1,600, $2,500, $3,500 that they're paying in rent right now is going into somebody else's mortgage, not theirs. So folks, that really, again, as I mentioned, it was a very, very quick strategy for you to generate some buyer leads, some real estate leads right now. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section down below. And with that said, I'll see you on Monday. Bye.